until the next morning, passed his physical with flying colors in the large frame category, and then immediately went to a hot dog stand and ate 7 francs in 6 minutes. Chapter 10, The Hot Tub Test. The final challenge of the month came when Jeff realized his super sperm status might be at risk. He had been spending too much time in the gym's hot tub to soothe his softball-related injuries. Jeff, the doctor specifically said no hot tubs. Audrey scolded. You're boiling the boys. You're making hard-boiled super sperm. It feels so good on my shoulder. Audrey, and I'm an optimal male now. My guys are tough. They can handle a little steam. But the doubt began to creep in. He had broken the fertility idol. He had been eating nothing but hot dogs for 24 hours, and he had spent 40 minutes in a whirlpool. I need a retest, Jeff decided. I need to know if the streak is still alive. The group met at the diner for the final reveal of the results. Jeff arrived, looking nervous for the first time in his life. Well, Adam asked, are you still a superhero? The doctor called. Jeff said, his voice solemn. He said, I'm still super, but I need to stay out of the hot tub. Apparently, I was dangerously close to becoming a regular male. Oh, thank God, Audrey sighed. I couldn't handle you having an identity crisis. Regular male. Russell laughed. That's what I call my bodyguard. Don't worry, Jeff. You'll always be structurally significant to us. Chapter 11, The Plastic Container Crisis. A few days after the roof gathering, the Binghams faced a new kind of domestic horror. It was a rainy Tuesday, and the lack of satellite signal again had driven Jeff to the kitchen for a snack. Instead of chips, he found a drawer full of mismatched plastic containers. Audrey, we have 14 containers and only 9 lids. What kind of sick game is this? Jeff shouted, his voice echoing through the apartment. Audrey walked in, looking tired. Jeff, it's just Tupperware. Just use a different lid or some foil. Foil is for leftovers that have given up on life. Audrey, this is a structural failure of our household. I've been counting. We have circular lids for square bases, and tiny lids that couldn't cover a grape for bowls the size of a helmet. Where do the lids go? Do they go to the same place as the single socks? Probably, Audrey said, leaning against the counter. Maybe Faye took them to make a public art project about the transience of containment. Jeff paused, the logic actually making sense for a second. You might be right. She'd probably glue them to a polar bear and call it Seal of the Future. Chapter 12, The Art of the Apology. Meanwhile, Adam and Jennifer were dealing with the fallout of the beige brochure incident. Even though Jen had resigned, the professional sting remained. I brought you some gluten-free muffins, Adam said, sliding a box across the table. I know Faye said gluten is the enemy of the spirit, and I figured, maybe that would help. Jennifer looked at the muffins. Adam, I love gluten. I love it more than I love beige. But thank you. I'm sorry I called your design loud. It wasn't loud. It was operatic. It was a rock concert in brochure form. And I'm sorry I called you an ass face. Jen said, even though you kind of were being a corporate tool. I was. I was totally a tool. I was a Phillips head screwdriver trying to fix a painting. But hey, Russell said the client actually liked the operatic version better after he told them it was postmodern irony. Russell said that? Well, he said he told them it was weird art for rich people. They loved it. Chapter 13, The Unbreakable Cycle. As the month came to a close, the group found themselves back at their favorite diner booth. The satellite was fixed for now. Jeff was comfortably back in his average mail routine, and Faye had sent a postcard from a retreat in Arizona, along with a book on tantric sex that Jeff had already hid under the sofa. You know, Jeff said, taking a massive bite of a burger, life is like a satellite in geosynchronous orbit. It takes a lot of effort to stay in the same place, but as long as the signal is clear, the view is great. Andre smiled, squeezing his hand. And as long as you have the remote and the right lid for the container, Jeff added. Russell leaned in, his eyes darting toward the entrance. Shh, don't look now. But I think the librarian from the literacy gala just walked in. I told her I was a recovering leper, and she actually believed me. Wish me luck. The group watched as Russell straightened his tie and prepared to launch his latest scheme. Some things never changed, and in the grand scheme of things, that was the most comforting rule of all. Chapter 14, The Stake of the Month. Jeff's life, however, was about to be rocked by a different kind of crisis, the stake of the month delivery. It was the highlight of his gastronomic calendar, prime cuts of beef, vacuum sealed and shipped in dry ice. It's meat day, Audrey. Jeff cheered as he checked his watch. The filet mignons are in transit. I can feel their energy approaching. I thought you said we had too many steaks in the freezer. Audrey noted. That was yesterday. Audrey, today is a new dawn. Today is about jerky and fresh ribeyes. But by 4 p.m., the package hadn't arrived. Jeff was pacing the living room like a caged tiger. The doorman, he's my prime suspect. I had a shipment of artisanal bacon go missing last year, and I still see him licking his lips whenever I walk by. Jeff, nobody stole your bacon. You probably just ate it and forgot. I never forget a pork product. I'm calling Russell. He's closer to the lobby. When Russell arrived, he looked more annoyed than usual. I had to trudge up here to tell you that your meat is in the fridge. Bingham. The doorman didn't steal it. He just didn't want the dry ice to explode and freeze the lobby dog. I knew it, Jeff shouted. He was holding it hostage. Chapter 15, The Hardware Test. Russell's annoyance, however, was quickly replaced by curiosity when a woman named Crystal from the IT department showed up to fix his office computer. Hi, I'm Crystal, she said, her voice monotone and professional. I'm here to service your hardware. Russell froze. A slow, predatory grin spreading across his face. Service my hardware. Is that what we're calling it now? Because I have some very complex